Now I have started.
Happy New Year!
Happy New Year!
Happy New Year! Hello, welcome back to this Glasgow 2024 Twitch stream.
Session 25.
Oh, yeah, we're not even in the year of the convention.
Oh my god, it's long gone.
We are in the session number of the year.
Oh,
We
that's
are.
nice.
Sorry, it was
24th and 24 and 25th and 25. That's fun.
What?
That was neat. We had session 24 in 2024, and this is session 25
Yeah,
in
the last
2025.
session of 2024 was session 24.
Oh, that's weird.
And the first session of 2025 is 2020. No, it's 25.
You're doing amazing.
I can...
Welcome to this Glasgow
Hi.
2024 Twitch stream.
We're not out of practice.
So we're here playing on behalf of the convention.
Long dead convention.
Long Dead Convention Glasgow 2024 that was unfortunately last August in Glasgow. So whilst you can no longer attend that convention unless you have invented time travel, you can look to future conventions such as LA and Seattle. I don't think I got those in the correct order once again. I think it's Seattle and then LA.
They're all in the future, it doesn't matter.
Please have a look, see if you can, if they're of any interest to you. Like, I think they're still accepting program item submissions for Seattle at this point in time. So please check it out. Consider going if you can. If you want, you can. There should also be links in our chat as well to the fan fund. So
I
if
lost the link.
oh shit, okay,
No,
we'll figure
there's
that
not.
one out in a minute.
Figure it out.
We'll get links. To the fan fund, so if you really want to go to a convention but can't afford to, you can apply for money from the fan fund to try and get to conventions, and they'll work with you to see if they can help you out. Or if you want, you can donate to the fan fund to help fans get to conventions if they can't quite afford it. So please do consider that. Checking out other conventions that are happening, like Seattle, LA. I don't know if they're doing online memberships for these ones, I'm afraid. We are not part of either of those teams. So this is a Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition Let's Play. This is a homebrew world of my creation that is heavily stolen from absolutely bloody everything. And we are on session 25. We just had that discussion. It is session 25. You can catch up on all of our previous sessions as they go out on YouTube. They go out in smaller chunks on YouTube to make it a bit more manageable, and where we cut out the breaks as well with our magic wizard that is Isla. But yeah, so I'm Alex. I'm Dungeon Master. I play everything that isn't these three.
Hi. I'm Isla. I'm playing Kai. They are a half-elf Bard Warlock, and I forgot my spell cards, so I'm fixing it.
Nice. Hi, I'm Will. I'm playing Adolin, and he is a ranger, and he used to be an Aasimar for quite a long time, and now we're not quite sure what he is.
He's just a guy.
He's just a guy.
He's just a guy trying his best.
He's
You
just a
know,
little
dangerous
He's
world.
just a wee baby boy.
He's just a little
Baby
guy.
at
He's
the
just a little
party.
guy.
Little baby.
Yeah.
That portion of giant's trying to steal on it.
That's true. He's just a little buff guy.
Guy.
I'm Rosie. I'm playing Polly. She is, not to brag, still an Aasimar.
Oh!
Do you have to bring it up every time?
Yeah.
We can go back to her not knowing. It's fine. She is also a Circle of Bees druid and a paladin.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So I guess we will dive into the recap in just a second. I presume Will is giving it and somebody will be timing.
On
Can
what?
can he get some bonus time because it's been a minute and also shit went down.
Well, it was mostly combat.
I suppose that is
Combat
brief.
deserves a thorough recap as well.
Just watch the last episode. That was awesome.
Because you're a good DM who includes story and combat.
Yes.
That's right.
Oh, a compliment. I'm getting buttered, aren't I? I should also say our campaign is starting to come to its closing few sessions. We don't have much of this campaign left, so one thing I will be doing at the end is answering any questions about it. So if anybody does have any questions, please pop them in the chat and we can write them down, and I will answer those before the end of the campaign as well. If anybody has any random questions from the fallout of this campaign. But if somebody could pull up a timer for me.
I can. Oh, are you on it?
Or no, or
You do
not,
it 'cause I'm
or
doing
don't.
Or no, I could lie. I could say I'm doing it.
Yeah.
Well, maybe I should do it. You two are the untrustworthy
How
ones.
many? How
What?
much would you like?
Hey.
2 minutes.
2.5.
Okay.
2 minutes.
2.5.
2 minutes.
2:45.
I know it's time for this.
Anyway, when last we left our heroes, we were away to settle down for a long rest. We had unlocked the powers of the Cup of the Cosmos, which has now been attuned to by Polly, our Druid,
It's me.
and unlocked the secrets of planar travel and hopefully the means of rescuing the city of Perlmire from hell and all the people contained within, who are having a terrible, terrible time.
Woo!
We settled down for some kind of pre-bedtime activities.
It's a weird way to put that, man.
Stop interrupting.
Platonic, adult, platonic. Kai went to visit the hospital, the sick ward, in our under siege temple, and doled out some cure wounds and a song of rest.
That was so sweet.
Helping people to recover, which was really nice. Polly just went straight to bed, so I understand it.
Well, it was a real tiresome ritual to attune to that thing.
Yeah, expensive as well. A lot of ruby dollars.
Oof.
Um,
Crazy.
and Adolin tried to again reach out to Eofiel to see if he could get through to her, but took a bit of a gamble on, rather than just trying to go through the sort of mental link, he saw dangling from our dog's collar a holy symbol of the cult that we've been fighting since the very beginning of this campaign. The last time he touched one of these, it caused a bit of damage, but he got through to Io and so thought, let's try this again, and found that the way to her divine presence was barred by a crackling red barrier of energy, and she was inaccessible, which probably meant she was also in danger. But whatever, we needed to go to bed, so we went to bed.
You're like, oh no, you're in danger.
Yeah.
Oh well.
15 seconds of
15 seconds.
combat.
Oh my god, we had a morning meeting, but before that we thought we were going to try and rescue us. We went back down the library to look for those angels. There was a magic barrier. We picked a lock, we dispelled the magic barrier. We went down into the lower level of the library where there were like 3 little angels and a big spellcaster angel, and then Joris, Adelin's old spirit guide,
That
and 3
motherfucker.
guards, and then and Io in prison in a magic circle with a big red crystal with another aspect of Io in it, and a massive fight broke out, and we killed everything, and we were like hanging on by a thread, and it was super lethal, but we got it in the end. And Joris is dead, and all the angels are dead, and Adelin's a bit upset.
Adolin killed Joris.
Yeah, that was wild.
Fucking hell.
After a nifty bit of play with like block stairway with bees, turn Joris into a bee.
That was so insane.
crazy.
That was so
Good
insane.
play, good play. Clifford gets
So
inspiration
good.
from
I
that.
have told
as well.
so many people about that move because I was like, that was unbelievable.
Thanks.
That was awesome.
Incredible play. Fuck you and never do that again.
I will do it at every fucking opportunity I can.
True.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, Adolin and Polly are on the stairs, having just cornered and killed Joris, and Kai still in the main section of the lower library, witnessing
Yeah,
Io
Whatever is going on with
she was
recombining.
going down over there, but Alex was like, "We'll do this next session."
Yeah.
Excuse me while I find those notes. Awesome. Thank you very much for that, Will. I'm well aware that we've run out of time, like halfway through that.
I paused it on 2 seconds to go, and I was like, just to flavor up a little bit. You did great.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Will.
Thank you for the timekeeping.
So we are now in
Session 25.
session
Yes.
25, yes, and we are in the basement of the library, in the restricted section of the library of the Knights of Ash. We have completed the combat. It is you are now out of your combat time, kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
What should we jump back in with, actually? I think I might jump back in with Polly and Adolin
Oh.
first. As
Thank you.
both for the reasons that Kai does not appear to be quite ready yet, which is very fair, and also important story moment that you may want to be there for, so I will give a bit of grace there. So yes, Joris has kind of just dissolved in front of you after taking an utter beating.
Brutal.
Yep.
Beating.
Beating. He had as many escape attempts foiled.
Many, yeah. Many. Where's Rosie? You haven't put Rosie out.
Where am I?
Where is she?
What are you talking about?
Oh,
you
the
mean
sheep. Rosie the sheep.
Oh, I have decided not to have her with me just now because
Oh yeah, because you didn't have her last time and it went really well.
So I think she's maybe John Zoo's mascot. So now I've brought Biggest Bee.
Biggest Bee.
And I'm wondering if Biggest Bee will bring me some luck.
Okay. I mean, you
Biggest
survived.
bee is
Yeah.
incredible. Oh, and you have the other bees.
Yes.
The other
All
big
three of them should be.
They're all
They
all
are.
stacked together.
Should throw the bee at you when you're doing silly things. Like, no!
I can think of worse fates.
bees.
Okay, yes. Joris has just dissolved in front of you. I'm sure you're very sad. Go.
You're very sad. Your spirit guide is dead. Action. Out of combat, the first thing I asked was, "Is his sword still there?"
Yeah.
Because that thing looked cool. But I think the answer was no. All his gear dissolved.
It's
No, as per all the angels.
Bullshit.
They are all
Bullshit,
dissolved.
right?
Bullshit.
No, I want a fiery greatsword. That'd be sick.
Oh no.
Anyway, yes, Adolin is currently miserable. He's reckoning with the fact that he sort of stumbled into the decision to abandon Joris and follow Io a little while ago, and it's led to this horrendous conclusion where they fought and killed each other. And
Are you dead too? Are you choosing to die?
no,
No.
it was a shame. And I think he said Polly just went in and give him a hug, and I think he'd be very accepting of that.
Yeah, give you a wee hug. It's
No,
okay, buddy.
he'd be very just like, head in his hands and like, oh boy, like it really became real at that point. Like this thing with George was unrecoverable
Yeah.
during the fight, and then I think pursuing him up the stairs was
He
definitely
called him
like,
a disappointment. He called
I
you
know,
a disappointment.
what a
That was
dick.
so mean.
yeah. Then I rugby tackled him, and that was really satisfying.
Adolin already had enough daddy issues.
Dead parents.
Your parents were dead.
You chose that.
I think that was like I heard a story about that being a director's note in a Batman movie, like, your parents are dead, you have nothing to live for, and action.
Yeah, I can really see that for you.
Yeah.
Aw.
Just Polly and Adolin sat on a step in the spiral staircase surrounded by 4 giant bees. I imagine her like gently nuzzling you from behind.
No, I
Aw.
will hand wave them away. I'll be like, get the fuck out of here. Just,
Like, okay. Back to the female.
I think Adolin would thank you for helping him pursue Joris, like, seeing this through with him.
I mean, it was your fight to see through. I just wanted to give you the opportunity to do so. But it was a big choice to make. How are you feeling? I mean, I know how you're feeling.
Burst into tears.
Oh no.
For kind of chokes it down. It's like, we should go back downstairs.
We should. Yeah. There's not really going to be a lot of time to process this, I don't think. It's going to keep on happening. So, I mean, just whenever you want to talk.
We don't
I
have
think
time to schedule a therapy session.
we should take every opportunity. Just if you're like mid-combat. And another thing that's really brought up for me was, I feel like just
There's one time Joris told me I was doing a great job, and that moment
I
stuck
know
with
you
me.
said that I'm a disappointment. Just whatever you want to talk about, know that I'm here for you. And I mean, I'm assuming Kai will be too.
Even though they're not literally here for
Yeah.
you in
They're
this moment.
technically in your head right now because I'm fairly sure telepathic bond is still up, right?
I'm
Oh
also
my
here
God,
for
yeah.
you. I'm just downstairs.
We should probably go back.
You have that conversation and Kai's just like, I'm here too.
What happened? Is he dead?
Yeah. I guess we also have Ursho and Garen in this one?
Yeah. You can.
No, we didn't put Garen back
No,
in this morning.
Garen specifically said that
No,
because he's
thank
not
you.
going to the fight, he does not want to be in them.
That's fair.
Plausible
Because he's got the
deniability.
meetings to deal with.
Yeah, I can see how that could be distracting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you've got Ursho, you've got Lena, and you've got Varro as well. Clifford got disconnected.
Tell Ursho, like,
Oh yeah.
keep this to yourself for now.
You're all alive?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good. So I'm not telling Garen that you just got into a morning fight.
Not yet. Let's see
Yeah.
order
Okay.
properly, and then we'll talk about this more. We
Yeah.
should go downstairs.
Should.
Okay.
And Ursho, whatever you hear next, don't tell him that either.
I don't really keep secrets from Garen, so if you're gonna
Just
do
hold
that,
off. We're gonna
can
be
you
up in
just-
like.
It's not a secret, just don't actively
We'll
tell
be back
me.
in like 15 minutes. We
right,
can
are
tell
you
them
going
ourselves.
to be discussing anything that you're not going to be telling Garen?
We don't
don't
know,
know
that
yet.
conversation
We don't know yet.
hasn't
Then
happened.
perhaps I should not be in this conversation.
I can ritual cast and kick you if you want.
Do you?
I'm telling you right now, because you are friends, whatever you say in that conversation, I will be relaying to Garen.
I mean, telepathic bond doesn't mean that everything that we say out loud is over the telepathic bond. That's it's not like
I have the I take it as like that is as read, because otherwise like a lot of the activities you've been doing as a group doesn't work. Because it's your mind has to concentrate on what's happening in front of you, so you can.
so. It says the target can communicate through the bond. That doesn't say they have to. So I feel like you can be selective about this if we think that it's going to put our show out.
I don't know. You've been relying on it as a passive thing, as a group throughout the campaign a lot as well.
Because it is
so-
possible, but I think like leverage just the use of the word can. But if we want to spend another 10 minutes, I can recast and kick him.
It's up to you whether or not, because he will go and report to Garen. That's what he's telling you.
Where's Garen at the moment? Like,
As you would say, he's not seen him this morning, but he'll probably be in a meeting or he will be doing a bit of scouting.
Is there a show outside the library? Did he come down the stairs with
No,
us?
he's upstairs because you asked him to vaguely monitor the situation
I just
upstairs.
tell him to come down.
Come down to
with
the, yeah,
us.
should we tell him to come down to the library? And like, we'll head back up together.
What stuff had we already told Garen?
I think we'd leveled with him on everything.
I don't think there's a problem keeping it from
Then,
Garen,
yeah,
but I
then what's
just
the
think that
problem?
air show is just like. I feel like this is a weird hard line for him to
We're not
bring
saying
up.
don't tell him, we're saying we want to tell him.
Yeah, just wait.
Yeah.
Like, surely that's a possibility.
Okay, do you want me to go and get him ready?
No, like, we're gonna
No.
we have a meeting together in like
Yeah.
a half hour.
We're gonna see him.
Alright, I'll get some food for you or something. How
Yeah.
Do
That
do your
sounds
own
great.
thing for
Yeah.
a bit.
Thank you, Russia. That would be much appreciated.
Okay,
Sorry about this.
though please do know that I am listening,
Okay.
and if you deliberately lie to him, I will tell him.
I'm just gonna start like thinking really hard about like hold music.
Elevator music.
Yeah, and I'm gonna see if that can like really drown out whatever the fuck is going on. Like if you guys want to just like do the thing and I could just be over here, just really concentrate
I
on
think
this.
that would be epically distracting to anybody in the telepathic bond.
If it helps, I know all of the words to All Star.
That's perfect.
In real life.
Do it. Okay, right. So what I'm hearing is that we're
We're
gonna
already
RP.
demonetised, aren't we? So
We're gonna RP whilst Isla sings throughout the entire thing, and this is just gonna be like a beautiful feast for the ears.
We so do not have the license to smash.
No.
I mean,
we don't.
I have really good proficiency in concentration, so like I feel like I can do this.
I'm gonna politely say no.
Just because you don't want to hear Isla sing All Star.
No, because I think it breaks the rules of my game. We can sing it after the stream.
Yeah, I'm also not sure you're allowed to sing on stream
No.
other people's music.
I think that this falls under the realm of parody.
Probably.
You're allowed 7 seconds of it before royalties kicking in, I believe.
So you could do 7 seconds, wait 30, another 7.
No, I actually think that
Anyway.
breaches royalty.
Really?
Yeah.
What if it's the same 7 seconds? Never mind.
On
We're getting
We're-
away.
Okay, so are you
We-
heading back down?
I think we head back down.
Okay.
Can I send you the feeling of a hug? In
Yes.
the telepathic bond.
Yes, you may.
That's so
It
sweet.
is received and it is appreciated.
Warm and comforting.
Let's go see what our future has in store for us.
Oh boy.
So heading back down, Kai, you've spent a bit of time maybe like picking yourself up a bit, and Clifford would have come over and to check on you as well and give you a big like lick up the face, which I
Oh,
imagine
don't
is
do that. I'm
not
covered
nice.
in blood.
He doesn't care.
He doesn't go
No.
anywhere. He's mostly just drool.
Ectoplasm drool.
Yeah.
I wonder if he does actually do saliva. Because he doesn't eat. But yeah, he gives you a lick, like checks that you're okay. You can't really talk to him right now, which is because he's not in the telepathic bond. But
Have a pet.
he takes the puzzles, and then he's gonna take off up the stairs.
Oh,
Okay.
he's doing things.
You're his master.
Does he Do I have any idea what he's up to?
Essentially, you meet him halfway down the stairs.
Oh, he was just going to find me?
Yeah.
Yeah, and he stops when he sees you,
Oh.
and like comes and nuzzles into you.
Okay, go be nice to Adolin. He needs it.
He wanders over to you and
It's your emotional support dog.
puts his head on your knee and like looks up at you with big puppy eyes.
Oh, I give him the really good just scritches at the sort of base of the skull and like behind the ears.
You get
And I tell him he did very, very well.
He did so well.
There's lots of pants and happiness and joy. And then he follows you down the stairs as well.
And we head back down to the restricted section.
The restricted section of the library.
The library.
The library.
Ooh, if that bookshelf in the corner is still on fire, can I put it out?
Yes.
Just, I feel sad.
You come back and the books! Yeah, I imagine you've got a cantrip that will slowly create enough water to put that
I'll
out as
figure
like
it
a
out.
sprinkler system.
I just make the bees just swarm it.
Oh my god.
I might kill you.
I have an infinite amount. I'm kidding.
Oh my god!
I'm not
Still
gonna be that
quite
cruel.
You will sacrifice yourself to my desires.
Lena's Cone of Cold would have like caught a good
That's
kick of it,
true.
I
Yes.
Lena can.
I don't
Lena's
think she
probably
handled
on
it
it.
that way, but...
think. Yeah.
Let's say she did.
There's some smouldering bookshelves in the corner.
Yeah.
Ooh, sorry. Anyway, the city's destroyed, it's fine. So yeah, heading back down, I think you'd find like Lena has gotten herself off the top of the bookcase because the
Okay.
fly would have stopped and she needed to like gently clamber down.
I think fly lasts for quite a while.
But it's concentration.
The pixies.
Oh, is it the...
Actually, no, I've lost concentration in the pixies, so I suppose they don't exist anymore.
Oh,
Unless
yeah,
So
they
then
just
there's
burn
no fly.
are they still in the Feywild thinking real hard about this spell?
I don't think that works, I'm afraid.
It's so weird.
They might be, but it's definitely not coming across the plane.
Interplanar concentration. That's wild.
I don't think that works unless specified in a spell.
It's a really cool concept, though.
Yeah. So heading back down, Kai, you rejoined the group, I imagine. Or would you more have stuck around to see what the hell was happening with...
I think I want to see what's going on in the magic circle with Io and Io and the sword.
Io and Io and Io and Io.
Yes.
Very well.
Just you and Io. This is a reference to a song. Never mind.
Okay.
So I think what you would see sort of starting to play out in front of you as Io takes the hands of the person that was like collapsed on the floor with the wings around them and sort of draws them up a bit, and you see this face that is essentially the same face as Io, but like slightly more elongated, a little bit more feline-esque, I guess, like
Oh.
streamlined.
Okay.
What?
There's like slightly pointier ears, and that essentially looks a lot similar to the angels that you've already seen, of that like ethereal beauty kind of idea that is just like way too perfect and weird, versus Io, who obviously looks very human. And you see her take this person's hands and start speaking to her. I believe you would automatically recognise that it is celestial. You do not directly speak it, but there's enough people in the bond to do a translation kind of thing. And you can hear her sort of whispering to her, "It's okay. It's okay.
Oh.
It's going to be alright. I know it's confusing. It's been too long.
Self-help.
Okay."
Which one is saying that to who?
Human Io is saying that to
Right.
Eophil.
That makes sense.
And
Divine Eophil.
the human one is the one that was chained up and has the sword,
Yes.
Yeah.
and the divine one is the one that was in the circle.
Yes.
Cool.
In the
Okay.
crystal.
Got it.
Material plane has had at least some agency in her life.
Yeah.
Whereas I feel has been stuck for what we think is maybe like at least a century or two.
I think it's close to 400 years.
Fucking hell.
It might be 350-ish.
That's right, since the last appearance of the...
Yeah.
She really was
Yeah.
that last... That unnamed paladin.
I think there's accounts of Eophil right up until the 800s, and you're on 1360 something. I think.
Wow.
Oh.
So
What year is it?
1398.
Ah.
Yeah, so it's been a while. She has been
Yeah.
separated for a while, you would say. Although it's hard to tell exactly when that happened.
She looks great for her
For
her
a
age.
third of a person.
No, for being over like 400.
That's very fair. But yeah, you can see that she's sort of whispering, not exactly to be secretive, but just sort of calming and quiet to this shard of herself, essentially. She's kind of talking to herself, which I imagine is very confusing to watch, particularly as Eophil, the divine aspect, starts to speak back to her and says, I know you. I know you. You are me. This is... Yes, I know this is where we're meant to be. And you can see Io would like help her up and say, yes. And you can see they're starting to like glow a little bit, and it's getting brighter, particularly as like Eophil stands, and you can see like her wings start to stretch out, and she goes from being this quite like distraught, caved in person to being like, no, I know this, and have a bit of confidence to her as she stretches out, and her wings start to like stretch out behind her, and they are large. They're very large wings. And you can see that Io would say, yes, this found you, finally. And that like light would get like brighter and brighter to the point where like you're having to like shield your eyes kind of thing, and I think like maybe this is the point where you all manage to get back down the stairs and you're all shielding your eyes against this blinding light that like just sort of obliterates the room at that point, and there is like no seeing. You can see like Varro's backed off with Lena to the stairs to stay away from it, and I imagine Kai might have stayed a lot closer, but he's starting to...
Yeah, if it's that much light, maybe there will be an explosion. Something.
Safety.
Yes.
Yeah, very fair. And then it would like suddenly like disappear, and the light would be gone, and where there was two, there is now one. And you can see an individual stood there in this gleaming plate armour, and like
Quite literal glow up, actually.
with a set of like golden wings out behind her that are like dusted through with like colours of blues and purples and things like that, with like blonde hair, and like a blues like skirt kind of thing that I don't actually know the technical term for, like the skirty bit of armour, sorry. Yeah, that swooshes round at the back. It's not a cape, but it's the swoosh. The dramatic swoosh.
Tails.
Coattails?
Coattails.
Yeah.
Sure, let's go with that.
Okay.
Yeah. You see that like she is stood there, and it's sort of almost half between the two, where Eophil was very like elongated, divine, celestial looking, and Io was very human. They've kind of met in the middle, where she's ended up looking very similar to like an elf, but slightly rounder features, slightly more human there, and there's like obvious like trails of power coming off of like her eyes and that, which would make sense given that she is a divine creature, and she is like stood in the middle of this destroyed magic circle that has like got cracks across the ground and things like that, before she turns to you all, like noticing you for the first time in some time, I guess, and blinks a couple of times. Hello.
Hi.
Remember us?
We met once.
You met this guy a couple times.
Yeah.
One of me has met you.
One of you has met us, and two of you have met him.
Yep.
Are you both yous?
Are you all three yous?
I wouldn't say both, as neither were me, and I'm still not all me.
Oh, there is a third facet.
But
Guess it wasn't this one.
Clifford, shut him in there.
We'll just add a Clifford. We'll combine the Pokemon until we get the one that
The
we want.
feline and the Kaline makes the perfect angel.
The perfect little angel.
Clifford's like, but I'm the perfect angel.
That is correct. That is correct.
You'd see to say, yes.
Cat.
The sword.
the cat with the wings.
Them together.
What cat?
The cat with cat.
Oh,
Cat the cat.
Yeah, okay.
Cat the cat.
Right, cat the cat. Yeah, I forgot about cat brain.
You mean they're not integral to the plot?
You don't know.
Anyway.
Anyway,
But yes, you'd see. She's. Yeah, she would have said that, and then say, yes, it's not all here yet, but I can be. I think. And she's starting to reach down for the sword.
Ah,
Yeah,
right,
just
right.
behind her.
Hell yeah.
just as I think Adolin would kind of butt in. I think he sees like, oh, if we lose that, we still don't know for certain whether or not we need that to power the cup.
I don't think we'll lose it. She wielded it as
Yeah,
herself.
it was
It's not
still
going
her
to go.
sword.
I think a facet of her is just trapped within it. Its powers
what-
might be different.
But what if that's what powers the cup? What if we are?
But it was it not an artifact before it had a part of her soul or
timeline.
something in it?
It was in her possession,
Yeah.
and it was only after her disappearance that these mages bonded the three items together for that
Yeah.
crazy ritual. I'm just wondering if her, I don't know, recombining with the
I
sword.
think this is more important. If we can get a literal angel on our side, surely she can help
So-
us better than a cup ever could.
We could
Or
just
some-
ask.
Yeah.
The stuff that the magic stuff the sword does now,
Yeah,
did it do it before?
Sorry, what are you asking?
that.
The magical artifact properties that the sword has now,
Mhm.
did it have those properties when it was in Io's possession before she was...
And you're asking Io that.
Yeah,
Mhm.
real quick,
Yes.
just before you become yourself again,
Mhm.
not to delay that, but just to like bureaucracy
Yeah.
bitch and all that.
The sword has been involved in.
Can you
some
describe
things.
its capabilities when you last wielded it?
Wielded.
Wielded it.
I think that's a tense.
Mhm.
Weld it seems weird.
Yeah.
Wielded.
Wielded.
Yeah,
Wielded.
yeah.
Wielded past tense.
She'd pause, and you can see like she's looking at the sword like longingly. But she would pause and say, "I don't know what the sword does now specifically.
What did it do last time you held it though?
It was a great instrument for destroying devils. and-
Was it magic?
Yes.
Okay. See, it's still going
See, it was magic before, it'll still be magic. It's all good.
Yeah, I'm just wondering if the
Is-
mages did something to it.
There a problem?
No, this is amazing.
Do you remember what the situation is with Pearlmire just now?
How one facet have you got here?
That is where we are. Yes, we're
In a
not
manner
where
of
it's
speaking.
meant to be.
Correct.
We're in the first layer of the hells at the moment.
And the way that it
Yes.
got here was with this. I produced the cup.
Cup of the Cosmos.
And we think the only way that we can maybe get back
Mhm.
is to use these, and I gesture to the cup, the trident, and the sword.
Just our eyes widen slightly at the sheer number of artifacts that have just suddenly been produced. Right, and you need the sword for that?
We're just a little. Adolin's understandably worried that in its current form is the way that we need it, and that the facet of you that is trapped within it is.
What gave it its
Part
magical
of that.
properties in some
And
way?
then by allowing it to recombine with you, we might lose its ability to help get the city back to the material plane.
I think it's worth doing.
But if we lose that ability, we might lose the city.
But we have an angel.
Who is very powerful, but maybe not what we need to save everybody right now.
What do you think?
I have no capabilities of returning this city. I have no way of moving a city from one plane to another.
But you'll have magic. You'll have
Yes.
power. You'll be able to maybe assist us in everything else. Holding back the demons until we can find something else, another thing to do. More magic items to overcharge the cup. It doesn't need to be relying on the sword.
But this isn't an option.
This
at
is
the
an
moment.
option. But it just feels really weird to be like, hello, 2/3 of you. Can you just hold off on becoming a whole person for our benefit?
But it's not just for our benefit, it's for
It's for
everyone here.
hundreds of people.
It feels weird for me, but
Yeah.
that's just me. That's my humble,
I think it's her choice.
humble onion.
Mm-hmm. We don't...
Sorry, what?
Opinion.
What? You said onion.
I know.
I heard onion.
I did say that on purpose.
my onion.
Have you never heard? That's just my
A
humble onion.
onion? No. Humble pie.
This is Reese's fault. Reese, if you ever watch this, I'm gonna kick your ass.
Is onion pie or something?
No, it sounds like opinion, but like if you take two
It
letters
absolutely
out,
It
doesn't.
doesn't. It hasn't got the right.
if you take P
emphasis.
and I out, then it's onion.
But the P is the emphasis letter.
This is so getting in the weeds. This is...
Keep your onions to yourself, alright?
Right, what the hell was anybody talking about?
We're trying to convey to Io... What should we call you right now? When you use Io, we
Do you
use
want to be Io
Eofil.
or Eufil or a new name or?
I think until I'm whole, I will stick with Io.
Cool.
I don't think I can be. I can take that title back without being whole.
We're... I kind of briefly fill her in on what happened to the sword to our knowledge after her disappearance, with the whole ritual and the mages binding together and the interplanar shenanigans they were trying to achieve.
I think you can see like throughout that there's flickers of like anger and disgust and things like that, like her artifact getting warped and things and meddled with.
Yeah. And that it was used to kind of power the cup's abilities to do stuff, and that whilst it was brought here by overcharging the cup with other generic items, we think there's a way to use these two, point to the trident and the sword, to achieve a similar effect, which would help us get the city home. And I don't know if that you bonding to it at the moment would deprive it of that ability, because we just don't know.
Specific question from DM.
Yeah.
Do you tell her that it was a cult in her name?
Not at the moment.
Okay.
I think not at the moment.
Yeah, there's the whole thing.
Yeah,
of...
depends how upset she.
Well,
I
it's
think Adolin
also-
glosses over that and then puts it out across
It's
the
a
board
lot
like,
to process.
do we
The
tell her?
whole thing,
This is a
yeah,
lot.
the whole
Yeah.
thing of like a potential deity, kind of like dictated by their worshippers. Like if we're like, oh yeah, a really evil cult was obsessed with you, she might be like, okay then, interesting. So maybe it's worth holding off on that just in case.
Maybe we can enforce like a good impression on her.
Yeah,
Like we're the first
exactly.
mortals she meets after recombining.
Yeah,
We can
and we can
influence
be
her.
obsessed with her. And then maybe
In a good way.
you and she could have like a whole like father-son thing going.
Father son.
Well, I'm saying that Joris used to be the daddy, and now Io
This
could
is
be the
feeling
daddy.
very manipulative.
I'm just saying, this isn't like let's do this, let's make this happen. I'm just.
I mean, Joris was
hoping.
technically brother, so
Oh, that's true.
Tormund's dad.
You could have an auntie Io.
Tom's also her dad, if she's an angel of Io,
Auntie.
which makes her
Sister
mm,
and cousin.
cousin,
Sister.
sister.
If Joris
Oh,
The
is
like-
older
Let me
sister.
revise those thoughts I've been having about.
Well, you're no longer a child of Torm.
oh
so-
my god,
So it's okay.
our parents broke up, so it's cool now.
It's alright, I was just adopted.
This is not the right vibe.
Too early in the day for
Maybe
this.
a couple of sessions from now, we could when Perwell's back on the material plane, we'll
And then we'll figure out what this is.
Yeah.
So she would take all of this in, and say, right, so you think... So the city was transported here using that cup, but not in its current state.
Yes,
And you think that these artifacts can get that cup back into that state,
hopefully.
and you
Yes.
can take the city back.
Although full disclosure, last time this was attempted, 2 people were erased from the
Existence.
From existence. Yes, Mr. and Talos did not look fondly
That's
on.
not what happened. No.
No.
That was when
Ooh.
the instrumental
Oh.
lights were connected.
Is
That's
that
not
not the
during
plan
the
of what we're doing? Oh no, we're just
Not
gonna
quite.
use the power
We're
of the
doing
thing.
reverse
Yeah.
I see.
thingamy. Arva's thing.
Those mages were trying to open like permanent gates to like the upper and Well,
to
Talos is playing.
Olympia and
I had assumed.
Pandemonium?
yeah, that's the one.
I assumed that we were connecting them to charge.
Yes.
Because
To overcharge the cup.
yes, because well, now I have a whole other issue with this because overcharging means destroying the artifacts.
I don't think we know that for certain either.
That's what's happened with literally every other magic item
Yeah.
that we
Which
attempted.
So
haven't been
you read
offered.
in Ava's diary
Mm.
that she believed that you could do that with those artifacts without destroying them because they are so intrinsically linked. It would likely power down those the other two artifacts, to power up the cup, but it would not destroy them. Is the
I'm
theory.
still so uncomfortable with this. What if we accidentally imbue the cup with Io and then she gets stuck and she can't access it anymore?
That might
like
be...
it's trapped in the sword or it's trapped in the cup and then
Well, we can maybe release her later. Also, that might be
So
how...
we've told her the whole situation. She can decide.
She's my soul.
yes, I support you wholeheartedly in whatever you do.
And we have a lot riding on whatever decision it is you make here. And
No pressure. You've only re-existed for 2 minutes.
It's a great watch, by the
And
way.
the other
Thanks.
Cassio?
angels that we've encountered have been somewhat rigid in their beliefs and decision making, which is why we're a little apprehensive about whatever it is you are about to decide. We have a lot.
So keeping me not whole would make me easier to get out of the way.
That's
You didn't agree with me.
that's not what we meant.
Definitely not what we meant because you're the only
Yeah,
one that
that's-
spoke.
That's not what we said.
Sorry, that's not what I meant. Let me just show some blame around here. No. No, just the angels, Joris, they were rigidly inflexible. There was no consideration given, it was just the answer was clear to them as to what their path would be. And
Then they must have their orders.
do you?
I had them and I defied them. And the consequences have taken me hundreds of years to deal with, and I'll fully admit I didn't successfully deal with it. You all did. I was unable to bring myself back together.
Well, that wasn't really on you. That was on. I gesture at the weird piles of dust where the angels were.
You see, she'd look around there, and like go to the nearest one and like blow on it a little bit and watch it like
Just disappear. I was gonna be like a
Golden
breeze,
sparkle.
A breeze
Just
comes
like
from
a
nowhere.
little
and
bit of a
just-
manic grin that flashes
Yeah.
across her face at that point.
Oh. Did you know Joris by any chance?
Yes.
Whoa.
When I was an angel. When I was a child of Torm. Yes.
I'm pretty sure they're all siblings.
Yeah.
Are you all siblings? Like actual siblings? Or is it like an honorific?
It's a mix. Some of us are directly related, some of us aren't. Some of us rose to beings. It's very individual, I suppose. Joris and I were not related, if that's what you're asking. Though I still referred to him when I served as brother.
Like when you call people auntie and uncle, even when they're not your auntie and uncle.
Yeah.
Is that a common thing?
Yeah.
It's like respectful.
Okay.
It's a
Do you want to
culture.
come to a meeting?
Oh.
I think I'd kind of like my soul back, if that's...
Well, it's literally in your hands.
Have
So.
at it. You have my full support. Do you need help?
No, I know I can do this.
You're not gonna do anything scary like run yourself through or
Explode or...
just like a little kind of like
Do we need
warning.
to stand further back or...
Is this going to condemn the people of Paramar if you do this?
They're going to be fine. We can do
There
this.
is-
Don't know.
Got it.
We can do this.
We just met her. You cannot trust her this much, this quickly.
She gave us soup. What more is there to know about her?
And bread.
She passed the sip and bread test.
Yeah. Also, we've like researched her and stuff.
We
Yeah.
did all of
And
this.
that's why we've gotten this far with
We
her.
killed all of these angels. You killed Joris for
Oh,
this.
please don't remind me.
Like,
Joris is dead?
he's dead.
Yeah.
You saw him flee. We
This is a
Caught him.
lot that we have done for you, and I hope that when the time comes, if it is necessary, that we need to ask
we have,
for assistance.
we have
that you
banked so
can-
much on you.
That you can help
No
us with
pressure.
this, but we have that much faith in you.
What is it you want me to do?
Help us get out. You can have your soul, but after, don't leave. I know you said that it's not possible. That's kind of great because it means that maybe you can assist us so that we can all leave together.
With my soul, I can leave,
Okay, don't leave.
right?
Pretty please.
Help us.
Our goal is to save Palma and everyone in it.
Okay, and the only way... Okay.
We don't
We
know.
don't have a guaranteed way of doing it.
We don't have one designated only way.
Hmm.
There is a whole.
There are other subsidiary plans and
Yes.
backups and
We have some minor ones. We're literally that's the meeting that we're going to. So, I think that you're.
The meeting.
Yeah.
yeah.
Will the meeting tell us more about these options?
Yes.
Mhm.
Uh-huh.
I'm uncertain if you should attend personally. You
We
are
could dress her up, put her in a hood.
with those wings.
Can you
I
take them
can-
away?
Are the wings there forever?
You can
There we go.
Okay.
See,
And be like, look, it's Io, the paladin
See,
we
like,
mentioned.
she would shift back
We
to
found
what
her.
looks like Io and say,
Some people in our room will have divine sense, which would give her away.
that's. I'll just.
So does
I'll be like,
Polly.
it's me. I'm sorry. I'm just a little extra angel-y today.
Something you had for breakfast.
Yes, I ate some angel. I thought they were chicken wings. They were angel wings.
Your legacy among followers of Torm is that of a traitor.
But there's also famously no pictures of her.
That's true.
True. You would definitely find it easier to move around in this guise.
right.
What are you thinking?
You can take back your soul now, you can come upstairs, go to the
Mm.
meeting and make a decision.
Regardless, I think the meeting is important.
Yeah,
Mhm.
either way.
But
Torma sent no help to you.
Torma said the
Oh, is it?
opposite of help. Well, actually, I don't want to give him undue criticism.
Yeah,
don't
we've
know
not
if-
spoken to him directly.
Joris has been a little bit of a jerk, but that might just be Joris.
The only agents of Torm we're aware of that have come to the city have been here solely to imprison and return you.
Mm-hmm.
Mm. There are other gods
If-
that seem to have a vested interest in Pearlmire remaining in hell.
Tell us.
He implied there were others.
Yeah. The clerics and paladins here still receive power.
So Torm hasn't abandoned the city. He's simply letting them deal with it themselves.
Yeah.
It's very Torm. I broke with Torm so long ago because I disagreed with the way he ruled, the way he wielded his power. And I
How-
disagreed with that because he was allowing his subjects to harm innocents.
Sounds like he's not changed.
Sounds
Hmm.
like he hasn't. That he simply allows his followers to do what their path. Oh,
How is disagreeing even a concept for one such as yourself?
not all can. Depends on how tightly bound you are to your god and to how much agency as a being you have. Not all celestials have choice. In the same way, not all fiends and other followers of gods have choice. Depends on their being themselves. I am a different being from Joris. Joris has no choice. He has given his orders. He must follow them.
You can choose to disobey.
Have more agency. It was not easy for me to break from Torm, but I managed it. Not all angels are capable of that choice.
Well, should we go along to this meeting and then you can exercise that agency to choose what you see fit?
Yes. Yes. I broke from Torm because I couldn't watch innocents suffer, and I can't allow myself to potentially. Sorry. That is my stomach. I'm so sorry.
Oh, you hungry?
I don't think so.
Would you like a lemon slice?
No, I'm good, thank you.
400 years in celestial jail and no snacks.
If you're such a crick in the neck.
Plot that film.
I cannot allow myself to take a path that would risk innocence. So yes, I would want to wait before I took my soul. If taking my soul condemns a city of people, I can't do that in good faith. That's not what I strive to be. I have my own goals, but they can wait some time to allow me to help this city if I can. I don't know what use I will be in this form. I'm not fully myself. I don't have access to all that I was like this. But I am better than when I was 2. And I will be better still as 3 when I am whole than as 3. But we can go to the meeting, and if that gives you more information about how we can get the city home, then I will hear it, and I will help how I can. If it turns out that there is nothing I can do, I will leave. I will do whatever I can to help you, and to help the city, and to help the citizens here. But if there is nothing to be done, then there is nothing to be done, and there are other fights to be had.
I think after she says that, Adolin thinks around the bond, like, I think if it gets close to that, we should tell her about the cult's original plan to, release her, introduce her as a deity, turn this into her divine domain, give her absolute power over it,
Yeah.
and the ability to shift it here and where.
Yeah.
Because that could be a thing.
Also, low-key a check-in with Kai about us still very much having first plan be go against what Talus instructed you to do.
Yes, absolutely wreck this trident, please.
How are you? Yeah.
You're like, yeah, none of this.
So you're just hoping that that's the way that you can kind of be taken away from it?
I have plans.
Greater restoration can remove a curse. What's the remove curse thing?
Remove curse.
Is it just that? Is there not another one?
There's a spell called remove curse.
There's a spell called Remove Curse. It doesn't
If I
tend to work
kill
on
Kai and
artifacts.
then revive them,
Potentially. It depends
Okay,
how much
we
the
got-
god is.
we got 2
interested, I
fallbacks.
suppose.
Have we pitched them before?
I was just
That
going to
sounds
pray
really
to
familiar.
someone else.
Oh, awesome.
No.
Okay, we got 3
You have
fallbacks.
options. One of them involves
I-
death.
That's going to be the last option.
Chaunty is pretty
I
chill.
feel.
She could help out.
Okay. Noted.
What was the hesitation? She's
No,
so
it was just a
nice.
curveball. I wasn't expecting you to suggest her.
It's the only one that I'm like really like,
Tight with.
yeah.
Yeah. Would recommend. Can get you an honor referral.
I wouldn't recommend Torm.
Yeah,
No,
no,
would not.
not my vibe.
Should we tell her about the whole, cult plan god thing just now, actually?
We've got a long walk up these stairs.
Sure.
I imagine the 3, your group is sort of looking between each other
Just stood in
and
silence.
she's just sort of like,
We can just tell her while we walk upstairs.
gonna pick this up.
Yeah.
Okay.
I won't
Even if
release
you did,
myself,
that's fine. Go
but
for
I
it.
am going to pick this up because
Okay.
it makes me nervous. Okay.
Okay.
Right.
And
Let's.
she like she would sheath it at her side.
Lovely,
You,
lovely.
I mean, I maybe I'll give her like my cape, my little cloak or something, so she can like, you know, have it around so she's can hide the sword a little bit. It's not gonna be as prominent. And if you take you've still got the +1 one, right?
Yeah, I've got a regular.
Actually, it doesn't look the same anymore, does it? It's changed
Oh,
back into
yeah.
a different form. So people
It'll
aren't
be
even gonna.
It'll be back to like a long sword.
Yes, people aren't gonna clock it and be like,
It won't look like what
Oh,
Adolin was
that's
carrying
the-
around.
Yeah.
because yours is a rapier, right? No.
Yeah, when
Yeah.
I had it, it was in more of a rapier form.
And now you have, but you do have a rapier.
Yeah.
At the moment, so
Like a
if
standard rapier.
Plus
yeah.
one.
So if
Plus
yours is sheathed, they
Yeah.
might hopefully just assume that that's
Nobody's going to clock that, like, that's
Yeah.
a subtly different sword that
Yeah.
he's carrying from when he
Uh-huh.
had yesterday.
Yeah.
Unless they're like
Ursula might
actively on
gently
the
chime
radar.
in there and be like, the amount that weapons go missing at this point.
Yeah, nobody's
It's
gonna
not
give
going to
a
be
shit.
Should be
suspicious.
fine.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Shall we tell her what the cult's plan then?
Yeah, let's go.
Okay, one last little thing.
As we're
As
walking.
we're climbing up.
And this might be a bit
Up the
hard.
steps, okay.
This
Yeah.
might be a bit
You
hard to
have
hear.
a nice dog.
Yes. Oh,
Yes.
this is Clifford.
Oh yeah, Clifford, Varro, Lena.
Clifford has been the most successful keeper of one of these artifacts.
Mm.
No
Ever.
disrespect to us or yourself.
Mm.
It's just straight fact at this point.
He's very good at his job.
Yeah.
Good boy.
That's the
His
correct-
tail starts wagging.
He speaks Celestial.
Yeah.
Well, he doesn't speak it, but he understands.
Yeah.
Mm.
Oh, okay. And she'll say it again. Yeah, he's a good boy in Celestial, and
Aw.
he wags a lot quicker at that.
Very cute. We should train him, teach him some English, some common.
I really thought he'd have picked some up by now.
Probably. I
Yeah.
think he knows what goodberry is.
Good boy.
Goodbye.
It
like
sounds
the
really
same
like
thing, like a
good
dog.
berries.
Like, you yell things at him, and
It's
occasionally
more the tone of voice rather than.
he
the
probably gets what
words.
Clifford is, and he probably gets
Clifford.
good boy. He
Good
probably
boy.
knows roughly what food is.
Fetch.
Probably.
Played
You
fetch.
did
does
play
play
fetch in the
fetch.
park for a while. Yeah,
Yeah.
so it's like standard dog training of if you yell a word enough in enough times with the same
Positive
repeated
reinfor-
action, he will learn it.
Yeah.
But actual common, probably not. Okay, so we're heading up the stairs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And telling some slightly more intense news.
Yeah.
Yeah. Remember that soup kitchen that we met you at in the aftermath of the Temple of Saloon raid?
Oh, that's a good segue.
This
Yeah,
is
that's
how
a perfect segue.
the storytelling in with that is like,
Yeah.
yes, and then I think Adolin starts to kind of step through, like, we know who carried out that raid, we know why they did it. Like,
Actually, just to interject really quick,
yeah.
Kai says that they saw you at the site of a
Oh,
stabbing.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Can you fill us in on that? Just that it's
that
In-
other
in
time.
Dust
it's
Town.
a, it's a
Like,
question mark, and it has been for some time. And I would love to hear your
Yeah, why were you there?
feeling guess. Were you just chilling, getting
I
re-upping your bread supply?
was following a source of celestial power in the hopes that it might lead me to my sword.
Oh,
We didn't have the sword then, did we?
no. What was the celestial power?
I don't know, I didn't find it.
How close
had-
did you get?
We had the trident. Is
I
the
mean,
trident celestial?
Tezan was there. They just robbed a bunch of places, and then you chased them down to where they had
Yeah.
pulled them all up.
I felt a strong spark that was similar to my own.
You had your wings then.
Yes.
Could
No,
be
that was after the
anything?
fact. Like the big wings came out.
I mean, I
Yeah,
didn't-
when
I
we were in
didn't-
the church on the
Yeah.
island, but like if she was following something.
Oh, maybe it was you. Yeah,
was past tense.
because it happened in
Yeah.
the past.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, because I'm dunking on you again.
Again.
Mhm.
I never caught up with it, so I'm not sure.
What direction was it? Like,
Intriguing.
Once I got to the city, it was very hard for me to tell.
Okay.
It was
Mm.
moving. I'm
Were you-
aware of that.
were you
but
about in the stabbing? Do you remember that happening? The guards coming, everybody.
the commotion at the square, right?
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Loki did think you were a murderer for a second.
Yeah, it was a really strange. Like, we were sus of you for clearly reasons that were reasonable,
But incorrect.
But for like, you had better intentions, thankfully.
I did not stab someone, if that's what you were asking for me to clarify.
No.
Or
We figured
I
out who
didn't
that
stab
was.
the person in the square.
We didn't think.
Good clarification. Actually, I have stabbed people. I'm so sorry.
You saw
I
me
just
do
lied
it
there.
5 minutes ago. Yeah.
I mean,
I stabbed the
I've
guy a
seen-
few blocks over.
Yeah, I
He
think the
really
murder
deserved
next to
it.
that one.
Yeah.
Like, I've seen you murder people, for God's sake. So.
Who hasn't killed someone?
Okay.
Yeah.
I wanted to interject on that really quick, just in case all of a sudden it was like, oh, low-key, I knew that it was connected to the cult, and I have been. So can I also do like a little, like, what is my insight picking up on that, the sincerity of that statement?
What's your passive?
19.
Jesus.
Wait,
Oh, good.
actually, that's my perception. I think it's 17 for my insight. No, it's also 19.
Okay.
Would your passive get a +5 bonus if somebody else in the party has proficiency because of advantage on the check?
I don't think we've ever done that before,
No.
but I could roll
If
it
you were doing
you
a
would
check,
rather.
but I don't, maybe not for passive.
If you have advantage on a skill check,
It gives you a
It gives you
plus
+5
five
to your
just
passive.
inherently. That's why I've got my passive perception of 19, but my perception's actually dog shit.
Okay.
yeah, we picking up what she's putting down. I never got that phrase.
Just-
It seems so
just-
weird.
You being
You're putting it down, you're giving information. Are they picking up? Are they understanding it?
Yeah, picking up what you're putting down.
Here is some information. Yes, I understand that. Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Visual aids.
Simpler figures of speech.
Okay, so I think with a 19 and a potential +5, you would know that she's quite hard to read. She doesn't flash emotions particularly often. When they do, they tend to be quite extreme. Like, you saw the glee in her eye when she blew away the dust, and things like that, and the anger and disgust when you were talking about the sword, things like that. She doesn't. So it's quite hard to read. Of like, it's either incredibly easy when she's showing emotions versus like when she's sort of off, essentially. There doesn't seem to be any major reactions to what you say that would be out of the ordinary.
Cool.
I think a lot of our emotions appear to be like quite extreme in terms of like when you talk about the stabbing and things like that. There's not really like a hint of anything. There's like confusion, and it's like sudden and intense confusion when you're asking questions that she doesn't quite understand, and then it like vanishes when she understands.
That clarity is just like, oh, yep.
Yeah. On
Okay.
the right page. Yeah.
That's
So
good.
I don't think
There's no, oh shit, they're on to me. I've known about the cult this
there's no
entire
like sudden
time.
suspicion or
Right,
anything like
okay.
that. Yeah.
You may proceed. I was just worried.
Okay. I think your query there about like, oh, was she sensing Adolin's spark? Is
That was
interesting.
Isla's.
Oh, was that your?
Don't give me
suggestion?
credit.
Credit where credit is due. I'd like if you brought that up in front of her, like I'd kind of piggyback off that and say, oh yeah, I used to have something like that. A spark given by Torm, but George took it from me when I told him that I'd released you from prison.
Oh. I'm sorry.
It was a choice I made, but
Yeah.
if that's what you were tracing, I don't know where it would
Would
be
have
now.
had to have quite a strong spark for that. But
Joyce was in town. After that, we went to meet him to destroy one of the emblems.
Oh, the symbols.
We just
Was he
found
there?
them. We offered one to Io. She refused to touch it. We went to town, and then he met you at the place that you'd initially met him, the big old.
Yeah, you
religious
went to
building.
a church and then I went to do research and
Oh, in
Polly went
Duxton.
to the bookshop.
He was in town, so maybe it was
Oh.
him that she was.
Oh, it might
sensing.
have been. Oh.
Anyway,
If
shall
you-
we tell her the
if-
thing we're trying to tell
Yeah, if you feel it again, let us know. We'd be interested to know.
I don't think she
someone's
will.
met.
her? Regardless of the two possible outcomes, it's unlikely.
at some point you passed the dust that was Joris.
She's
she
like,
goes,
that was it. That was the spark.
Ah.
It's gone now.
And she
I kick it.
again has that glee as she like fuffs it away a bit.
Actually, this is prime. This is like, we could sell this. This is angel dust.
Angel. It's black market angel dust. Use it for spell components, guys.
If I do a line of this before combat, what happens?
Oh my god.
You can try it and see.
I'm
You
too
sneeze.
scared.
So I get 5 rounds of Aasimar ability for that. If I just do a line of
5 rounds of continuous sneezing.
Oh.
Cinnamon challenge.
Well, that's less good. Yeah, shall we tell her then on the way upstairs?
Yeah.
We'll circle back to that bit about like the group that raided the temple. It turns out they were a cult, and they were actually, we believe it was them that brought the city here, using the cup and overcharging it with magic items, which they were raiding these temples for. That was what it was. This was all in aid of. But from what we understand, they were doing it in your name. And I'd fish out that holy symbol that I'd like tuck inside my cloak and say like, this is, we believe to be an old symbol of Torm or yourself.
You've seen this before. We've shown it to you before.
Yes. And I think it'd be very clear, like the surprise that goes off across her face as you say that to her. Right.
And from what we understand of their goals, it was to bring the city here, recombine you to your full state, and introduce you as the city's saviour. Empower you to become a deity of sorts, and by displacing Perelmar from the material realm, make it a bit more loose in planar space, create a divine domain ready for you to assume control of.
My own plane.
Insight check. Is there a gleam in her eye? Does she look like she quite
Go for it,
enjoys
yeah.
the possibility of that?
Can I roll and do badly?
Yeah, if you like.
Can I roll and do medium?
I have got proficiency in insight, so
Oh yeah.
actually let's just make sure I'm not lying. Yes, I do.
Yeah. I'll go
This-
proficiency, so
you
you get,
guys,
yeah.
So everybody gets advantage.
Not 20.
Oh, let's go!
29.
17.
17.
17 and 18 on the dice.
Nice.
For 26.
Okay.
She's easy to read. Fuck it. Her emotions are all over her face.
She's very easy to read. Yeah, she's either very impassive or like sudden bursts of emotion kind of thing. It's very hard. You get the impression it's quite hard for her to actually like hide sudden emotions and things like that.
This is very different from our first meeting when she was just a human. Where she was.
Cagey.
I remember
Real
her
cagey.
being really hard to read.
But you would see like this gleam of like curiosity, I think, would pass over her face as she's like considering that idea and trying to like wrap her head around the concept.
Well, there's an alternative then, is we forgo using the cup, and instead we go with the cult's plan of we empower Io. Maybe we have to go out there and like break these abyssal chains that are holding the city in place.
The chains need to be broken either way.
Yeah. But then if that kind of releases the city to be, go where
I'm not
easier to move.
opposed raising somebody to godhood. I'm assuming that she doesn't want to be underneath Torm's thumb anymore. Not that she really
How much
is.
of this is out loud? Sorry.
No, this is just I wouldn't
Just
talk.
mental.
I wouldn't call her she and her and stuff. I would
Okay.
include her in the conversation if it was in front of her, to her face. So maybe the whole intentions thing. If we can have people like a god who's like against crusading, who's just like
The people would totally buy this. The Knights of Ash would not. Or at least the
No.
ones who are followers of Torm. They wouldn't go for this.
No.
They wouldn't accept.
It's a real
Io.
weird splinter group.
However, a lot of knights are dead by this point because they
Thank God for that.
So
Thank Torm for that.
Yes, pick your god to thank.
Would we still have to have the domain be here? Would it have to be Perelmire stays here forever? I'm still kind of not opposed to leaving Perelmire here.
Just getting the people out.
Getting the people out, because that means that Kai's in deep shit. They can, if we can run interference, that they could even be able to pop back and get the stuff that they need. Like the library could be emptied, the good old artifacts that they still want to have possession of, they could come and retrieve. There was the whole thing about the pocket dimension that Old Man Wizard, who hummed a lot, was going to do.
No, not Simon. That's
That was the
that's
fey dragon.
Yeah, that's a dragon.
We could ask her if, by, giving her enough power and control of the divine domain, if she could remove the city.
Say Siren. Close to Simon.
Siren. Oh yeah, the old cleric dude. Yeah.
Siren. Yeah. I think it's spelled with a C, which is why I didn't make the connection. Like
Hearing.
The colour, close to a colour. Is it
Cyan.
cyan?
Oh, I wrote Siren like an alarm.
It sounds like that, but it is spelled with a C. Sorry, what would...
If she becomes a god, she could potentially bring Pelmar out into its own plane, or...
How do you feel about being a god?
How do you feel about that plan that the cult had for you?
Obviously we don't agree with the means, but honestly that end goal sounds like it fits our needs.
I would certainly like to try and fight to raise myself to godhood.
Ooh.
I don't agree with how the gods of the upper planes are conducting themselves currently.
Would this mean that, once you had been raised to godhood, you would, start waging holy war to try and stop them from, to get them to act better? Or would you just be like, okay, come, my brothers, let's vibe?
Crusading got a big thumbs down on the screen.
Would depend entirely on them, if they're willing to change their ways, or whether or not it would come to war to stop them. That doesn't necessarily involve mortals, though.
I mean, but it does eventually, let's be honest. The higher ups start fighting, the little guys always get squished.
Yeah.
It would certainly change things. That might not be a bad thing.
I like the idea of you guys being on a level playing field so that this shit doesn't happen again. But if you're saying that your plan would be to be on a level playing field so that you could do this shit back, then surely that's...
I have no interest in harming innocents.
Okay.
No interest in dragging mortals into my fight.
Okay.
Those that choose to are welcome, but I will not force either subjugation or... No, I chose to stand against him to protect innocents. I'm not then going to drag them back into a war, even if I feel that war is justified. War is a last resort for me. It is there, and I will wield it if I need it. But it is not a path I take lightly. And it is not one that I would jump to. I would be happy to discuss these things with the upper gods, to try and sort things out. Whether they're willing to listen or not is another thing. They would only listen to another god, so I would need to raise myself. Having a divine domain is a major part of that, and what the cult has done has effectively given me the chance of a divine domain.
If we did that, it would never come back, would it? Because then
Promai would never return.
it would be in Torm's domain after that.
And it would be unlikely that all of the people would return either.
Would they become citizens of your divine domain?
Quite likely, yes.
What if we got the citizens out and there was no one in said domain? Would it then be rendered useless?
Effectively, I would have to recruit citizens.
So you need... what's your minimum number?
I'm not sure it works as a number.
I have a god already. If I stayed, would I just immediately be switched on to your service, or?
And I think it would depend on how strong a hold your god has over you.
Ooh, I don't want to chance that. We're very chill and civil, but we're not cozy.
Can I? And she'd like reach her hand out to like
Like,
touch your
high-five
shoulder. She'd take the high five. She'd be bloody confused about what you just did.
Oh, that
They didn't
really-
exist 400
I
years
misread that.
ago.
I'm so sorry.
What is this cultural greeting you are offering?
But she'd withdraw her hand and say, "You have a strong spark. I doubt jumping to another plane would affect you."
Okay, but you don't want to say that in front of Adolin. It'll make him feel bad.
Sorry.
He's very emotional today.
Those that have a strong connection to their god will never be swayed, and I would not force it on individuals,
Okay.
but I would give them all the opportunity to come with me.
Well, okay.
Which would be better than them being stuck in hell.
Maybe we do little meeting, which we're walking to right now. We pitch this as an option with no mandatory like we won't pitch it as like clearly like, oh, we're going to be like, what if Paramire stays and we create a new deity and you all swear loyalty? But what if we say like we have an easy way of getting individuals out? And then just like have a secondary meeting being like also people who could stay could be like protected. Here's the... I don't know how to pitch it because you're going to have so many knights just absolutely wanting to cut our heads off.
Yeah, they're not going to go for it. And if they find out that using the cup to get the city back is still an option, they will probably arrest and try to kill you to get
but
swords
I think
to
that's
do this.
fine. I think having the cup is an option because literally, like, if we
But we're not the biggest power here.
If we were, I know, but just hypothetically, I don't think we're capable of it. If we could get every civilian into a meeting and explain the situation, I know that Pearlmire is like the place of the three major gods, but like I don't think that every single person here is like an absolute devotee to it. So we could be like, here's the situation. You can leave, you can go home, you can not have your city. You can stay, you can live here in a city that is protected by your very own deity who only has like 20 of you, so is going to be keeping a very close eye, you know?
Yeah.
If I might make a suggestion,
Please.
I would suggest that a conversation like that would be better accepted after I had done some kind of great deed.
Ooh, that's true. You want to break some chains with us?
Chains need to be broken.
Yeah, we've got a full to-do list.
There are prisoners, are there?
No, literal chains tying the city to
Pearlmire
hell.
is very trapped physically as well as...
If this became a domain, how would it change physically? Because right now the biggest issue is nobody has any food. So saying this would become a domain is all well and good, but if everyone starves to death in a week, that's...
If I have control over the domain, I can choose what is growable here
And
to
how-
some extent.
how
It's
does it-
affected
would
by
there-
my being, but I can choose for there to be edible food here.
Would there be water?
I can choose that as well. Yes, mortals.
How
do.
does...
Day and night?
Ooh.
If I wanted it,
You
It
can
would be
put
my
sun
domain.
and
People
stuff.
need day and night.
They get sad otherwise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
then yes, if it would be negatively affecting my citizens,
Would the demons still be able to get in?
Yeah, this is the
it
domain
would
of like
splinter.
archdevils and stuff like that. So how is there... Because that's...
My understanding of the plan is because it's being transported to Avernus, which is a very unstable plane, I would be able to splinter it once I gain control. So we would no longer be on the same plane as
Ooh,
Avernus.
so they wouldn't be
That's
constantly
so
attached. So
There
those
was no
chains need to get
physical
broken like
connection.
pronto regardless. Would you
I
think?
would need to break those chains to splinter the domain.
Okay, so that seems like it's on the to-do list regardless of those two scenarios.
I presume you need them to jump the city as
Yeah.
well. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Because Avernus is quite so unstable and changing as it is, it's very easy to splinter. I can't guarantee where in the circle of planes we would end up. I would suggest, based on my own morals, that we would be in the upper planes somewhere. But I can't guarantee where we will land.
That's wild.
What
That's
if then?
so wild.
What if we don't? What if we tell? Because the Knights of Ash will not go for this plan, but we need to go out and break the chains anyway.
I think
So what if we don't tell them...
Just like, hey, we found Io. She's
No,
a
what we...
paladin and she can help
Yes.
come with us on our little squad trip.
That,
Human paladin, yes?
Yes.
human paladin, but
Very
then
good.
as soon as we leave the temple with the forces of the Knights of Ash to go out and break these chains, that's when you fully show yourself, you go out, you make a big scene of it, break the chains.
We're really planning a PR stunt.
yeah, and then maybe like an announcement to the civilians, being
Yeah.
like, "Here are your options. Here's what I can do for you.
You can come
if
with
you
me
are
to a
willing
brave new
to
world."
Stay like." But then, but have, as you said, you were going to give them the option. If you don't want to stay, that's fine. We can use the cup and we can transport you. But unfortunately, Pearlmire cannot go back. We can just present that as like an inevitable, like.
Yeah.
The civilians don't know one way or the other that it's possible for the city to go back. So if we just said, yeah, no, I'm really sorry, it can't come back. Either you go home on your own to the material plane, and the Knights of Ash will help you begin again. Or you stay here in your home, rebuild, with a new deity looking after you.
Mm.
We shouldn't lie to them what their options are.
Yeah, I know. But like, if we do take Pearlmire back, then I was never going to be free of Torm properly. You know?
Mm.
Unless we do this all again with a different plot of land. Actually, hear me out. There's a field just like a little to the left of Pearlmire, totally empty. Maybe a couple of cows could be your followers.
I don't think cows would.
Shit. Alright, well.
Goats?
No.
Mm.
There is a city here of people that need saving.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
I would suggest that they are prime candidates for being my followers.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
I do agree. Although Kai does have a point that maybe the story should be less lie.
Less manipulative and biased.
I just okay, but
What's
like
the lie here? What,
I
what are you
was
suggesting we
I was
He
slight
doesn't
on
want
that?
to tell them that there are other options
I was
for getting
pitching
back home.
omitting the fact that Pearlmire could conceivably go back to the material plane.
I think that's a decision that's going to get taken by the high ups at the Knights of Ash. Like this meeting we are about to go to,
That's true.
and
This is a very long staircase.
I mean,
It's
it's
very
like
long
15
staircase.
minutes.
It is a very
like,
long
straight up,
staircase.
it has been
But I also
established.
imagine that at some point you get to like the top and you're just kind of in the actual library, which is still dead, and maybe you stop there round the reception desk or something.
As we were walking up, just constant prestidigitation to get rid of all the blood.
oh yeah,
Oh, that's great. I'll
Yeah.
help. I think.
we were
Every so often Clifford tries to lick your boots.
no,
Oh.
because we were about to go to this meeting, and if we tell them we have Io here, and our plan is to turn Palmar into a divine domain, not of the three gods of the Knights of Ash, but of her, we get arrested, thrown in jail, and that plan
Yeah.
is gone. So we can't tell them that. Looking at you, Kai.
Who is currently in charge of the Knights of Ash?
Oh,
Dave Matthews Band.
yeah.
Willie Matthews.
You get there, yeah. And who does he serve?
Tor.
He's not Torm, right?
He's
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, DM.
Hey, yeah, the person is asking the question.
I know, it feels so weird to ask these questions, but I kind of have to.
Yeah.
You see, like, she contemplates that for a minute and say,
Hmm.
anyone whose faith is strong enough, I will not force them to serve me.
Hmm.
Or anyone that simply chooses to not have a faith, I will not force them to serve me. If they wish to go home, we will find a way to get them to the material plane. I understand that I will be physically taking the ground that they call home.
Hmm. You know what? We could take the choice away from the knights by allowing Io to bond with the sword right now. And I know I was against this. It was the first thing I said was don't do that. But
What do you think?
This short conversation has been very
oh yeah,
opinion changing.
Adol's done that a couple of times in the campaign.
It
Like,
says a lot.
let's be
that
nice to Varro. Wait,
There's
No.
also
Belinda's yours.
to
Time die.
to
Oh yeah,
take
Belinda could join you at this point
to
as well.
take
She clip
Adelin's
flops downstairs.
position, because Adolin is now taking mine. The fact that she's showing that restraint also says a lot. You know,
Yeah.
to be like, I am a good and benevolent leader, and I will continue to be so because I could stop you from even having this option, and I have decided not to do that. Although I'm worried then that all the it's my Delta Green brain.
Knights.
All the knights would be like, seize her, grab the sword, make sure that they're always apart.
Right.
Yeah, and I don't. That would be unfortunate.
They don't know that she's her. They don't know she
No.
has the sword.
How much of this discussion is out loud? Sorry.
I mean, I'm fine
I
with
think
all
at this point in the
Yeah.
library, like it's all out
Yeah.
loud.
She would
We're leveling with her.
politely say, I would not allow them to take the sword from me. I will not harm innocents, I promise you this. But if somebody attempts to take the sword from me, I will not allow them, and depending on how violent they get, will depend on how violent I get.
So either we negate the possibility of that happening by having our bond with the sword right now, or we do not tell the leadership of the Knights of Ash that this is our plan, and we go ahead with telling them that we're going to go out and break the chains anyway. This is our rogue knight Io that we were asking about. We found our... This is why we're so messed up. We found our friend. Which is why we're so messed up. We went out into the city, we found her. Got into a scrap. But that's a lot of lying.
We could just not elaborate.
Not elaborate.
We could just literally be like, she showed up.
We
Yeah.
found her.
You have
Done.
just randomly walked a lot of people into meetings, being like, yeah, they're part of our group now.
Yeah.
Like
They're
Barrow
with us.
and
He's with us.
We didn't
Lena.
give backstory for Varro, Lena, the Lost Prince,
Yeah.
Belinda.
Yeah.
Technically, you didn't walk the Lost Prince into any meetings.
Mhm.
He has gone off and done his own thing at this point because
He's dead.
He joined a party. He went
Full
out
day.
into the city. He's
Yeah.
gone.
he was like, I have a job.
I think on the way up to the meeting, we should wander back through the sick wards, the hospital wards, and I assume you have a little bit of minor healing capability.
Oh god, yeah, we could
'Cause
start the
that would
the
win a lot of
networking
hearts and minds
immediately.
immediately
Yeah.
by doling out a bit of healing and a little bit of like spreading the good word about you. Gives us a stronger
Have you
position.
heard the word about our Lord and Savior?
Hi, you got a minute to talk about Aya? I would suggest
She's
that,
going to save us all.
Well, I would be very open to covertly attempting to heal people. Revealing my presence at this point in time might not be the best idea.
Just even if we were just like, look at this, like, she's gonna heal you. Remember her face. I'm not saying
That's
say
so
that.
creepy.
I'm just saying if we like.
Are you
like,
suggesting I present myself as Io or Eofiel?
probably
Just Io, I think, for
just now.
Yeah.
So a paladin with healing
Yeah,
capability.
exactly.
Yes.
Like me.
I
you are a
would-
cleric.
What? No.
What?
Guy.
Huh?
What?
Did you hit your head in that fight?
Yes, you can see the scars.
Okay.
Yeah, they're a druid paladin.
Where? Oh. Okay.
The way that Rosie's introduced their character for the last few sessions.
When I remember I was out. In all fairness, I do also forget.
I think in my head it was like druids do wisdom, clerics do wisdom.
Technically-
done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I am an uncharismatic ass paladin. It's why none of my spells are like spelling. I just heal.
Just spelling.
Spelling.
It's less
Spelling bee.
Yeah.
risky if we no longer have the access to the option of using the sword to charge the cup. If we just commit to the route of we're going to empower Io, she's going to save the city and everyone in it, and the knights don't get a say in that, and we just completely forgo that. Because even if we go down that route, the citizens still get a choice, right? They can come with the city when it leaves, but then can be returned back to the material plane.
Everyone will have to come with the city,
Yes.
and then I should be able to get them back to the material plane.
So all the people will still be safe.
Yes. I presume the material plane is safe.
Yeah.
Then yes, I will be able to get them back to the material plane. Whether they're safe on the material plane is slightly beyond my control.
Well, that's fine. I mean, a lot more than might want to stay when they see where the city winds up as your divine
That's
domain.
yeah, that's a really good point because I hadn't been considering it in that order. Like straight up, I've been thinking we get everybody out that doesn't want her as a god, and then we move.
And then
them.
jump the city and whoever's left who wants to be
Yeah,
there.
but it makes more
to
sense
renew.
to do it the other way around because it can be like, wow, look at this lovely place.
Yeah.
This could be yours, or do you want to go back to the hole in the ground?
You can keep farming beside this lovely lake.
It's well
It will be a nice,
irrigated.
lovely lake. Yeah.
Yeah.
I imagine
Great for
there's
growing rice.
horrific problems with like downstream of that lake
Yeah.
for a while, as the lake had to fill before the river could continue.
It's like a month of drought.
Dunhelm, no, Dunhelm? What was it?
Dusthelm.
Dusthelm was like just all the boats went down and they were just like...
Like, well, there goes our trade route.
Grey Fort was a river fort as well, wasn't
Yeah.
it?
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
like, it just goes dry.
The entire country is very reliant
Looking
on
up being
this
like, what the
river.
fuck is
It was
going on?
incredibly reliant on that river. That was how most of the trade looped
Yep.
around.
Yeah.
I mean, it's only Dusthelm and... What was the one by the coast?
So it,
Dusthelm,
the map's
Grey
up there
Fort,
actually.
Pearlmire.
So it's
Dust-
Dusthelm,
Just sounds
Grey
on the
Fort,
coast.
and then Pearlmire,
Yeah.
and then it splinters off into a lake
Uh-huh.
up top.
But so it's only really Grey Fort and Dusthelm that are going to be directly affected by it.
Yes.
So that, it could have been worse.
It could have been a lot worse, yeah.
And it's still going to be very confusing.
Except all of the imports came to Dusthelm and then carried on through the country. So
Semantic.
no imports.
So Grey Fort looks like, Dover Ferry Terminal at the moment. Just traffic backed up in both directions.
Or just sat on the floor being like, what the fuck? And then suddenly the water's going to start again and they're going to be like, whoa!
Yep.
I'm coming around on the idea of letting her do the thing with the sword right now. And then maybe lying to the Knights of Ash and saying, we're still going to go ahead with the chains, but we're not going to use the cup to get home. We have sided with your betrayer! And I don't know how much we tell them. I haven't... I don't know how far we go with that.
I don't think we yell, you're a betrayer. But
Yeah,
apart from that,
that's
Definitely
terrible.
not that.
I'm on board.
But we can still
I don't.
introduce you as Paladin Io, who's going to help us, go out into the city and break these chains. At which point we can announce you as your true self.
And will I have my third part at that point?
Well,
Yes, I
I'm
mean,
thinking
yeah,
at
right
this
now.
point we could do it right now.
I don't think it should be up to us.
It's up
No,
to
I
you.
don't. I think, which is why we're having this conversation in the open. Oopsie blue tack ball. Because you clearly want to do this right now, and it's, I think, a very good sign. I feel a lot more confident in the fact that you didn't jump straight to it and you heard us out.
Yeah, so whether you want to hear everybody else as well and then make the decision, or you've heard enough that you actually think that you want to have all three of your facets to hear this conversation.
I am willing to wait until after this initial conversation, although
that's
I
fine.
would prefer if we did not reveal me during this
Mm.
No.
No,
conversation.
that was
Agreed.
never an option.
However, I also think that if the Knights of Ash are not likely to agree to a plan that is aligned with myself becoming a god, presenting that with them with that plan before I've had a chance to prove myself to the citizens is potentially not a good idea.
Yeah, I think that's totally fine. Maybe we could allude to we have a lead on a third option, go out, break the chains, and then come back and be like, all right, you saw our third option, what do you think? You know?
I like that angle. I like that order of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I would personally choose that.
Okay.
I would choose to have my third part to go and
Yes.
break the chains.
Oh, yeah.
I agree.
Fully agree.
Which would essentially cut off that choice.
Yes, so it'd be like, all right, we have a third option. Also, the first option is gone.
But I think
Potentially.
barring
That's
this,
fine.
barring this meeting
I
going
dare you.
terribly, we're not going to change our minds on this.
Yeah, no.
We're pretty decided.
Should I leave the
Are
cup?
you?
Pardon?
Are you decided?
On what? What?
On potentially cutting off the course of action that returns Pearlmire to the material plane.
I'm undecided. I don't think it should be up for us to decide just because we're the best at fighting right now. Especially when we don't even live there.
That's true. I guess that means it's up to Varro.
Barrow, you've been very quiet in
What
this
do you
conversation.
think?
What's your opinion?
You live here, and you're good at fighting. Therefore, this is all on your shoulders.
Yes, you've been voted in by
Do you
a
want to
democratic
swear
process.
fealty
Over the bond, it's
to
like-
this?
You were part of the cults. She was your you know,
He was
your
low-key
god for a
part
little
of
bit.
it.
Yeah.
Was
Oh yeah.
was she his god, or was he
Well.
still like sworn to Torm?
So Varro never had a divine connection.
I mean, he never
To
had
anyone?
he never had a connection, but he was
You can follow a god and not
Yeah.
be a cleric or
He-
paladin or whatever.
Did he
Outwardly displayed that he was a follower of Torm, but he didn't.
practice.
He would say that, no, I gave that up when I
Ah.
joined the cult.
Interesting.
And, oh my god, what was her name?
Arva.
Lara.
Arva.
Oh, different one.
Arva gave me power
Yeah.
as she saw fit to help her.
How do you give someone power?
Spell scrolls.
It's a D2.
There's several ways of doing it. She did it through the cup several times. To give me some of the abilities from the cup.
Mm.
Cool.
She was a very accomplished spell weaver.
Very cool.
Should we go over this meeting then?
Yeah.
And should
Let's.
we take a little meander through the kind of more refugee areas of the temple and
not to
introduce
sound selfish,
this is Io,
but
this
if
is
we're
Io.
going out and breaking some chains later on today,
We need a rest.
Was this a short rest?
no,
No.
it was a
Oh.
climb upstairs.
You have to actively be involved in both this conversation.
I am at a fifth of my
Yep.
hit points.
Yeah,
Oh.
I'm at 14.
Yeah, no, I'm
Who was the
Drop
guy
as
that
well.
was standing guard outside the library?
A very random light raven.
Still there?
If you open the doors,
Yeah?
yeah, and head out, you see that there's he's just sort of stood there.
Just getting the last bit of
Oh,
blood
you-
off of you.
You're
Yeah.
alive.
Got a new scar and a new person.
That's great. You came out better than you went in, I guess. Then. Sort of.
No,
Net gain. Net gain.
I guess.
Okay. Well done.
What was your name again?
Yeah, we didn't get it.
Haven't they?
Jiminy Billy Bob.
Jiminy.
Something like that.
Good job,
Was somebody
Jim.
else Jiminy in this campaign? I can't
I
remember.
think several random NPCs have been Jiminy.
Placeholder name.
Robert.
Sure.
Tom.
Yeah. So are we
Well,
heading
no.
up?
It's me next. Selby.
Yeah, slowly going around the circle.
Yeah.
Mm.
So we're heading upstairs.
Yes.
Then with Eophil or Io looking like human.
Yeah.
Io.
Looking like human Io.
Yes.
She's got the sword partially covered under like a cloak kind of thing,
Yep.
just in case.
Yep.
Yeah, do we want to introduce her to some of the civilians as we go? And just like, this is Io.
That'd be a bit weird.
I think that we shouldn't. We should just leave off. Not draw too
Save
much
the-
attention.
Save
Yeah.
the PR for.
Also,
It would be very
if she
out of
can heal
character
people,
for
it might
us
be
to do it
easier
kind
for
of
us, or
suspicious.
better for us to
Mm.
be healed by her and vice versa.
Mm.
That's why I
Yeah.
brought it up. I'm being a little selfish, but
Mm.
we're gonna kick more ass than civilians.
Oh yeah, completely. Yeah, and a rest is sorely needed. Definitely short, preferably long. But I
Yeah.
think we're gonna have the meeting before any sort of resting.
Yeah.
Like-
If anything,
Yes.
this meeting might be very, very restful.
That would be
Yeah,
nice.
We drag it out to an hour.
They just drone on, and we're just like,
If you want to
There was a
participate in the
corner.
meeting, you have to
Yeah.
not short rest. So it's up to yourselves about whether you're participating or not. And if you don't participate, there can't be any chatter from yourself during it. Which I'm going to take as, no, you will be chattering, so
We
there will
will
be
be
no short
chattering.
resting.
Okay. Should we go for it?
Yep.
Yeah.
that yawn was in and out of character.
So
No
we're heading up,
disrespect to the game. I'm just very sleepy.
so we're heading upstairs. We're going to the sort of like surgery room first, kind of bit.
No, I
the
think
hospital
we're
bit.
just going to the meeting.
We're just gonna go
We're
straight
just going
there,
to the
yeah.
We're
meeting.
just going to go to the meeting.
Yeah.
Okay. So you'll get called to the meeting when it's like ready. You set off quite early in the morning to try and like
Yeah.
make sure
only
you've
give us
got
a
this
whole
done
minute.
beforehand.
Yeah.
Maybe we can nap. How much time have we got?
So you won't be able to do a long rest for quite a number of hours.
Yeah.
yet,
No,
because
I'm-
you've only
but, like-
just woken up.
A little cat nap.
Would we have time to
You would
have
have
a
time to
short
short
rest?
rest.
Oh,
Yeah.
for
You can-
goodness. Oh my god.
You could collect some food from the kitchens and go and sit with the
Oh,
light
lovely.
ravens kind of thing.
Fan-freaking-tastic.
would we How much do we want to... Ursula said he's going to pretty much tell Garen everything, right? So...
Mm-hmm.
And again, this is information leaking. Is it... Do we grab Ursula now? Do we tell him to bring Garen here? Do we tell Garen our plan? How much is Garen obligated to tell everybody else? How do we control the flow of information?
Garen is
How
not
fucked are we?
affiliated to any deity, so
No, it's not.
but also like has an anti-affiliation to divine or devout followers. But actually, that's not true because it's probably maybe people touch him. It's just people who are like
Oh.
registered
I'm
Knights
not
of
sure you
Ash.
tried.
You should high five him next time we see him.
Hey Garen, what's up?
Touch his eye and
Oh,
just
what?
explodes.
No.
Ursho, hey Ursho, you've been lurking. Can you touch Garen?
Just in general, not right
Like,
now.
have you been able to when you're passing documents and you had the graze of
yes.
fingertips? And
Why do you make it sound so romantic?
I just or
Yes, but I don't have a divine connection.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were. How about Kyle?
No, he's a monk.
Kyle's monk as well, I think.
No, but he does follow.
He's a
Kyle
Tom
follows
monk.
Tom, but has no divine connection.
Okay. Do you know if Garen's deal is that he can't touch anybody with a divine connection, or is it specifically Knights of Ash?
I've never seen him be able to touch anybody with a divine connection, but he doesn't initiate it often. I'm unclear on whether it is specific to the gods of the Knights of Ash or whether it is any god. I know that he just doesn't take chances.
Okay. I'm just curious what his opinions would be on this whole thing.
We could have a mini meeting.
That might be a good idea, just to bring Garrett up to speed.
Thank you all for watching today. I hope you've enjoyed our stream as we're getting closer and closer to the end of our campaign here and to the end of Hell and Highwater. And we'll see whether all of your choices have paid off, or whether you will get the ending that you've worked so hard for.
I think we're nailing it. I really do.
And we will see you all next time on Let's Roll Hell and Highwater. Thank you.
Bye.
See you later!